If you're a man in a relationship right now, there is something huge that you can do to vastly improve the quality of your relationship. And what that is taking the responsibility to lead your woman towards fully expressing her feelings. And when I say fully expressing her feelings, what I mean is getting her to tell you how she feels with I feel statements. So for example, I'm feeling really angry right now, or I'm feeling really unappreciated. What you said made me feel really disrespected. I'm feeling really sad right now or really lonely. Whatever it is, these are I feel statements, and getting her to express that, and then also expressing why she's feeling that way is really allowing her to show you more of who she is, really opening up her heart to you. And it's a huge gift for both you and for her to be able to do that. Um, but unfortunately, most women are not naturally conditioned to do that because they are conditioned to believe that feelings are in some way weak. They're inferior. They're illogical. They are not something that they should be expressing with a man, especially because of this whole nonsense with this empowered woman movement with feminism and spirituality, where a woman should, just be completely independent. She's a strong, empowered woman. She doesn't need a man for anything. So why should she express her feelings, right? If she has feelings, she can deal with that herself. Um, and that belief, that mindset is so unhealthy for so many reasons. It's really not something that you want in your relationship, because a woman expressing her feelings is such an amazing gift and changes and improves so much in the relationship in so many positive ways. And when a woman's not expressing her feelings in this way, she's probably going to be dealing with her feelings in a way that you don't want and she doesn't want. And one of the ways that this is going to happen is she's going to try to deal with her feelings all by herself, right? She's going to go off by herself, process her feelings, and then come back later so that she doesn't have to put that on you. And and you know what that actually is? I've heard this so many times where a woman's processing her feelings. They're not processing anything. At least I've never met a woman who's processing her emotions. What she's actually doing is she's just building up resentment for you. Maybe there's some really, really healthy women out there who can actually properly process emotions. Um, but I really wouldn't count on a woman doing that. I wouldn't count on your woman being able to do that. She's probably just building up a lot of resentment for you and putting all the blame for her feelings onto you. Even if she's not conscious of that, that process probably is happening in the background. And this happened in my relationship, in my marriage, and I didn't even realize that it was a problem until I took responsibility for leading her towards expressing her feelings. And I kind of opened up the genie bottle, and all these feelings and past resentments started coming out towards me that I didn't realize were a problem. She would often process her feelings by herself, and I thought that meant actually processing her feelings. But for women, that's probably not what's happening. Um, and the other way that she might be taking out her feelings is by telling you what her feelings are, verbalizing it without actually expressing her feelings. This is really common. So I put this under the umbrella term of nagging, right? So this is when your woman is expressing how she feels by blaming you for something. She's criticizing you. She's telling you what to do. She's telling you what not to do. She's in a bad mood. She's asking you questions, like, why do you leave this stuff in the sink? That's how a lot of women are now conditioned to express their feelings. And first of all, that's not really a way that a woman wants to be expressing her feelings. It's not healthy that way, and it definitely does not feel good as a man to be on the receiving end of that. It feels emasculating. It feels like it's a huge burden that she's putting on you. It doesn't feel good. It definitely does not feel good as a man. And when a man feels that way, what is he probably going to do? He's either going to lash back by, criticizing her back, blaming her back, getting angry back, or he's going to want to naturally withdraw. He's going to want to avoid that whole that negative feeling that his woman is putting on him, and go withdraw to his man cave, go withdraw to his garage, put space between her and him so that he doesn't have to deal with that anymore. And then what is that going to do? If that's the way that feelings are being communicated in your relationship, it's funny because your woman is actually now going to think, oh, my man doesn't care about me, he doesn't respect me, he's not interested in meeting my needs and putting in an equal amount into this partnership, right? But that's not true. For most men, that's not true. Sure, it is for some really selfish men or abusive men, whatever. But for the vast majority of men, that's not true at all. They just don't want they don't want a woman putting a huge burden on them. They don't want to feel emasculated. They don't want to feel criticized. They don't want to feel blamed. They don't want to feel like a child being led around. And so when your woman expresses her feelings in that way, that's going to be your natural tendency to withdraw or to attack back, and then she's going to feel like you don't care about her. So that whole negative spiral, that communication spiral, it's all based on a misunderstanding, and it's based on there's two people that are causing the problem there. One is the woman who's not expressing her feelings in a vulnerable, open way, which is scary to do. And it's also you, as the man, that's not taking responsibility for leading your woman towards that outcome, right? Like, you are the man in the relationship. So you need to be the one that's taking charge and leading towards the outcomes that you want. If you know that it's important for your woman to be expressing her feelings, don't wait around for that. Don't wait around for that outcome. That is not what a leader does. That's not what a man does. A man will take charge and lead towards the outcome that he wants. And once you start to do that, you are going to notice a lot of changes in your relationship. Hopefully, you will. It sure did for me in my relationship. All pretty much all the conflicts that we used to have, they just disappeared. Our level of intimacy went way up. Our ability to just stay really connected to each other at all times became so much easier. Our level of attraction for each other stayed up. It's such a simple thing. Like, in hindsight, I feel like such an idiot for spending several years in my marriage not understanding this very simple thing that I should be taking responsibility for. Um, and what I would often do instead is I would just try to accept it. I come from a background of um, I meditate. I've used to meditate a lot. I've done some spiritual stuff in my life, and a lot of the things that my wife was angry at me for, it's pretty legitimate. She's not a crazy woman. She has realistic expectations that sometimes I wasn't meeting, that I should have been meeting, and I recognize that. And so in my mind, I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, I guess I did screw up, but I really do hate the way that she's talking to me. But for some reason, I didn't really connect how I should be dealing with that, because I knew if I just, told her I don't want to hear any of it, then she would just build up more resentment for me, which is something I don't want. And I didn't know a way of effectively leading towards an outcome that I wanted. And I'm giving you that outcome, or I'm giving you that strategy. And that's simply whenever your woman is angry, whenever she is clearly feeling something that's not her normal state, something's wrong, ask her how she feels. And when she tells you how she feels, then ask her why she's feeling that way. Start an interaction, a conversation based on that. If she tries to, tell you what to do or tell you what not to do or blames you or criticizes you, shut that down. That's something that you should never ever accept in your relationship. It's not appropriate. You should not be accepting burdens from your partner. You should be accepting gifts and you should be giving gifts. So your gift to her is using your leadership to ask her how she feels and going deeper into how she feels and shutting interactions down when she is trying to nag you in some way. That's your gift to her as a man. And her gift to you is to express how she feels, um, be vulnerable, even if it's scary, show you her heart, even like no matter how that's feeling to her. And just be that feminine self for you so that you can see that whole self and when necessary, um, take action to to do something about it, right? If you pissed her off, which if you're anything like me, you've probably done countless times, and it's a legitimate response to what you've done, then absolutely apologize for it and make it better, right? That's a pretty simple thing, but it's much easier to want to apologize and genuinely want to make her feel better when she's actually giving you the gift of expressing how she's feeling instead of just lashing out at you and blaming you and criticizing you, right? You don't want to apologize when she's doing that. That's just going to make you angry, make you want to withdraw. So you need to lead towards her expressing her feelings first, and then she can express her feelings, and then you can solve whatever problem that's come up between you two as a leader. It's really simple. It can change so much in your relationship. Start today. Start taking every opportunity you can to ask your woman how she feels, especially when you're doing something that's clearly pissing her off or irritating her in some way. Um, it changes so much. It really will change your relationship.